My name is Dr. Michael Dim, and I'm a holistic veterinarian here in West Palm Beach, Florida. Over these next several weeks, I'll be presenting a series of videos on holistic pet healthcare. Initially, I may be looking like I'm reading my notes, but I'm new at this, and I hope you bear with me and have patience in this process. But I look forward to sharing much information with you over the coming weeks. This first topic I want to talk about is holistic or conventional medicine. Which is right for my pet? And the answer will depend upon the animal's individual situation or by case basis, as well as differences over that animal's lifetime. As a traditional veterinarian trained over 30 years experience and a holistic veterinarian with 20 some odd years experience, I know when to use holistic and versus conventional medicine. Conventional medicine, for example, shines in acute crisis situations, such as acute traumas, such as injuries or fractures or animals that are hit by a car. In those situations, it's best that animals be stabilized on IV fluids or IV antibiotics and that are worked up with blood work and often x-rays so that the appropriate stabilization can be instituted. When there are fractures present, animals will often need to be stabilized with splints or plates or wires. And then homeopathic remedies can come in to stimulate a shorter healing response, but that initial stabilization with traditional medicine is something that's mandatory in these acute crisis situations. The second category of where conventional medicine shines, animals that come in severe dehydration with GI emergencies, such as hemorrhagic gastroenteritis or pancreatitis. Those cases often need IV fluids and stabilization to make sure circulation is adequate to the vital organs. There's something that I often recommend to clients called the ABCs of stabilization. And I try to teach my holistic clients about the ABCs of emergency medical care. The A in that acronym stands for a patent airway. So if animals come in with acute breathing issues, such as animals with congestive heart failure or animals with asthma or little toy breeds that present with collapsing tracheas in a crisis, again, conventional medicine must be utilized to allow patent airways to be established and stabilization so that adequate oxygen is being circulated to vital organs. The B in that acronym stands for adequate breathing. Want to make sure that the gums are nice and pink and not bluish or what's called cyanotic. And again, conventional medicine can stabilize animals and make sure that breathing is adequate. Finally, circulation is mandatory in these emergency situations. As I outlined, when animals come in shock with acute trauma or with emergency GI conditions, very often IV fluids are needed in those circumstances so that the patient can be stabilized. Mechanical blockages, such as blockages of the urinary tract or mechanical obstructions of the digestive tract, they too often need to be stabilized in acute situations. So that's where conventional medicine shines. So when should we use holistic medicine? Since that's the topic of my discussion. I often recommend it in less intense acute situations, such as when animals present with hot spots or skin eruptions or ear discharge. Some of those patients may seem like they're suffering or in acute distress, and they are. They're often, very uncomfortable. But we want to come in with more natural therapies that work with the body in helping the body overcome these tendencies to skin allergies and other sensitivities. Traditional medicine often uses strong suppressive antibiotics or steroids topically or internally, and newer drugs such as Apoquel or Cytopoint are newer players in the block over the recent years. But when we suppress those external symptoms, the imbalance from a holistic perspective goes deeper into the patient and can affect other more vital organs such as the digestive tract, the urinary tract, and the endocrine system. So we want to be mindful of when we use Western medicine in those circumstances. And a better choice is holistic therapies to allow us to more individualize the case and look at what's called the symptom totality of the patient, which we look at as one disease and one imbalance showing up in the patient at various moments in time. So that patient with the acute skin and ear problems that presents, that's often just one minor part of the whole symptom picture. And we want to look at the tendencies of that patient from the time that they were young to the time that they're presenting to us in the clinic, at how we want to prescribe our holistic therapies. And when animals are treated holistically, old symptoms may return, such as discharges or inflammation or local diarrhea, little vomiting, and that's part of healing in holistic medicine and must not be interfered with or suppressed with strong drugs or strong medications. I know society often wants a quick fix relief of symptoms, but that comes with a chronic healthcare price, since those animals often need to have stronger drugs used over time and newer drugs, and eventually higher dosages, and eventually the drugs stop working, and then the patient is sicker. The goal of holistic therapy is always to lessen the susceptibility to chronic disease so that that animal is healthier and more resistant to current health problems as well as future ones down the road. It does take time and patience to work through these symptoms. It's not a quick fix. And instead of using suppressive medications, for example, with hot spots or with ear infections, we'll use soothing topical agents and sometimes herbals and botanicals internally and individualized homeopathic remedies so that we can help the body go back into balance and assist in the detoxification process. Since many of these symptoms are signs of toxicity in our patients, and it takes time for the body to work through those toxic insults that have built up in the body over time. Balancing the immune system does take time. And again, with time and patience, the animal can be led to more healthier grounds and again, less prone to both current and future flare-ups. The conventional perspective on these conditions look at all of these problems as separate in the animal. The skin being separate from the urinary tract, being separate from the digestive tract. And that leads to the use of specialists that come in with strong medications to address each problem. Holistic practitioners work on the whole animal. I can't stress that enough, not just the presenting complaint. So, for example, when animals present with digestive tract issues like diarrhea or vomiting in a dog or a cat, we have to, again, put the body back into balance because the gut is the window of the immune system to the rest of the body. And an unhealthy gut leads to problems in the urinary tract, leads to problems in the respiratory tract and the nervous system, and even behavioral problems in our animals. So in order to improve the health of the body, we work on the health of the gut. And we often do that with various supplements and changing the diet to a species appropriate, rotating raw meat protein diet, which I encourage my clients to change their animals over to. And once the change is made, the health benefits are truly remarkable on the whole body. Animals have shinier coats, their stools become smaller and more well formed, gas and abdominal cramping go away. So I can't stress enough the importance of a raw diet to our animals, moving away from conventional diets and processed prescription foods. It's often said that veterinarians get next to no training on nutrition in medical school, and that's very, very true. And so when I learned from my teacher, Dr. Pitcairn, how animals should eat, it really was a revelation to me, something that I was not taught in my veterinary school training. In addition to a raw diet, I'll often use certain supplements to improve that health of the gut so that the rest of the body can be healthier as well. Good probiotics and digestive enzymes are incredibly important to the health of the microenvironment of the digestive tract so that gut, again, performs optimally in our patients. I'll often use omega-3 fatty acids to help reduce inflammation, not only of the gut, but also of the rest of the body, including the joints, the heart, and the brain, where omega-3 fatty acids have been shown to be beneficial in all of those areas. So a healthy gut means a healthy body. And so again, it's all interconnected, all interrelated. And the body, again, doesn't work in parts. So the goal of this first brief talk, is to stress to you when conventional medicine is indicated. And again, that would be in acute crisis situations. That's the first take-home point I'd like to make in this talk. The second would be I would consider holistic medicine for acute and chronic conditions, keeping in mind that chronic conditions take time and patience to work through as the body discharges and forms local inflammatory processes that's part of healing in the long run and in reducing susceptibility to future chronic disease. And finally, when making a decision on whether to choose conventional medicine or holistic veterinary medicine, you want to seek out the advice of an experienced holistic medicine practitioner who's skilled in both worlds and can help guide you on the best decision for your individual animal. It's been a pleasure talking with you today, and I look forward to more informative videos in the future. If anyone has any questions at all, feel free to contact me on my website, drdim.com, and that has my email address and my contact phone number. And I try to answer emails daily, often several times a day I'm checking. And also I get back to people as quickly as I can, and I'd be happy to schedule you for a holistic consultation. Thank you very much.